Welcome to One-Weighted Machines and the B7 Audi RS4 series. In this video, we will be replacing the throttle body on the RS4. To understand why we're doing this, please refer to the Codes series videos that are available on the channel. For step-by-step instructions on changing the throttle body, please refer to Carbon Clean Part 1 video on the channel, and every step is laid out there. When you change the throttle body, you want to make sure to perform a hard reset on the car before you start it so that you can clear any codes and so that the car is ready for the new throttle body. This small notice came with the throttle body. To ensure proper operation of the replacement unit, verify that the vehicle engine control unit is updated with the latest software version and all service manual procedures for calibration are performed. Failure to perform this procedure can cause idle concerns, can set the check engine light, and generate codes. Just do a hard reset. I have the video very detailed on the channel. Please refer to that. The throttle body we'll be using is from a company called Standard Motor Products, and the part number is STD-S20002. As you can see on the actual throttle body, it has GM stamped with a part number there. This product can be used on a lot of mid-2000s GM products with the V8, and it also works on the Audis. There are people who have had luck with other throttle bodies as well, GM variants like this. These are a significant savings over what the Audi dealer would sell you for essentially the same part number, just with an Audi badge on it. If you've watched part 1 of the throttle body series, you know that this is an ongoing series and we have other tests we're going to do as well. Another one of the tests is going to be a long-term test of this particular product, so stay tuned and see how this one does and if it fails sooner than it should, or if it keeps working. I'm now going to swap out the throttle body, do the hard reset, and we'll see what the dash looks like when we go to turn it on. Hopefully the red line will be raised to 8250 from the 6800 RPM that it's at now. Another noteworthy point about this particular throttle body is that it does not come with a replacement throttle body gasket, so you're either going to have to reuse the old one or purchase a new one from a different supplier. I'm going to opt to use the old one as I've already taken that on and off twice and I haven't had any vacuum leaks. So that's your choice. If you have problems during reinstall, you can refer to Carbon Clean Part 5 on the channel, and that'll give you detailed instructions how to put the throttle body back. We've got the old out, time to go in with the new. The unit on the right is the one we pulled from the car. As you can see, the throttle bodies look quite similar. The one we pulled from the car is an original Audi Pierberg unit. This is stamped on the bottom of the throttle body, so it'll be hard for you to know this until you pull it off. So whoever owned this car before was either rich and bought dealer parts, or it's the original one from the car. If you are transferring the throttle body gasket over from the old to the new, easy does it. This throttle body gasket is a little bit flaky on the edges, but close to the part where it actually seals, it's in very good condition. If I wasn't careful with it, it may have been unusable, but the condition of this gasket also makes it more plausible that this throttle body here is the original one that came with the car. So again, changing the throttle body gasket is your choice. Be gentle if you are going to use the old one again. Place in at least 2 of the throttle body screws as you go to put it back, because that gasket is going to try to slip and slide out and it's going to give you a tough time. So having 2 screws in there makes it easier to position everything and to be sure that your gasket is aligned when you finish reinstalling it. So I didn't take all the steps in the Carbon Clean video. I actually left that bracket for the engine cover in the back in. There is a small metal tab under there that will make your work a little bit harder if you don't remove that bracket. So when you do use the 2 screws to guide in the throttle body, you can't punch them all the way through like I showed in the previous clip. You're going to have to hold them slightly out so that you can clear that little tab and then put the throttle body in. So if something is giving you resistance, know that it is this little piece here. When this goes in, this will have a tendency to snag on this piece of the engine cover. So either remove the engine cover if you're scared of being sloppy, or just do it like this. Here's the gasket that comes with the aftermarket throttle body. This looks kind of like the same gasket you'd find on a throttle body on an Audi A4 with the 2.0T from this generation. This is most likely for the GM products. This is not compatible with the RS4, so you'll either need to reuse the old gasket or purchase a new Audi gasket. Alright, so I'm a bit too far into the reinstall process to go back and check this, but I just remembered that you want to check these two little screws in here in the butterfly valve to see that they're popping out the same amount there, because if one of these is loose, it'll fall and go into your engine, just like those 16 little pesky screws in the intake manifold. So do check to see if these are tight before you reinstall. We'll find out on mine if they tightened it good from the factory by the way the engine performs. The only slight odd thing about this throttle body that I've seen so far during reinstall is I usually get my snorkel lined up perfectly when I use the stock throttle body. This one is leaving a slight bit of a gap. So if you do use this one, make sure to hold one hand and as evenly as you possibly can give force to the snorkel before you go to tighten the hose clamp again. Because if it's slightly off and you have that gap there, that's not going to be very good and you could possibly get a vacuum leak. Everything's back reinstalled. Let's wait until the hard reset is done, come back tomorrow and fire it up and check out the codes. After the hard reset and just pulling it out of the driveway now, the traction control light has gone off by itself. The EPC light is still on. We're going to drive the car around for a bit and see if that goes away too. We've now driven the car about 300 meters. Let's turn it on and off, do a couple of cycles and see if there's any improvement. So the traction control light did not come back. The check engine light is back, most likely for the cats. We'll check that. The EPC light came on right away. Let's try one more time. Okay, we're going to drive around a bit and try again. This will be our fourth on and off. One more on off. Let's check the codes. Alright, so we're only getting the 2 codes for the cat delete, which is the O2 sensors, which is of no concern. We've driven about a 1 or 2 kilometers. I tried to get it up or in the rev range. And this is a case where you need VCDS. Okay, that's the only thing that's going to be able to tell us what that EPC light on its own is. So I'm either going to take it to a VW Audi shop or go ahead and buy that equipment. I tried a few of the gas pedal depressing techniques to reset EPC and check engine lights, and neither one of those worked. So our next step is going to be figuring out what this EPC light is related to. It could be all kinds of things. So it could be battery voltage, it could be other electrical sensors and problems. But the fact that we got the traction control light to go out and we don't have any codes for the throttle actuator means that the throttle body was at least a part of this problem. Now we have to figure out what the rest is. It's either going to be resetting that EPC light with a proper scan tool, or we have more issues related with the EPC system, which may or may not be related to the throttle body change.